what's up guys? Today's video I'm going to be installing and reviewing the LOREX 8-channel 4K camera surveillance system. So if you guys watched some of my other videos, I reviewed my honest opinion on the Ring system. I have the Ring alarm security system, but I didn't like the camera quality. And I was saying that you can get a better camera for around similar price. Well, here it is. So I haven't opened it yet. I got it from Costco. And this is a 8-channel system and it's 4K, you guys. So this thing has an app, all that stuff, and I'm gonna open it for you guys, but this should be able to actually identify, this thing is smart enough that it can identify vehicles. It can distinguish between a person or a vehicle. And the cool thing that I like about this is it actually has bright LEDs on the front of it. So that acts as its own deterrence as well. So if somebody's walking up and all of a sudden a camera shines really brightly in their face, then it might do its job just in that sense on its own. I would have liked to tie everything together. I would have liked to tie everything together with the Ring security system, but I just wasn't happy with the quality. So this kit was on sale when I got it, $6.99 for 8 cameras, no fees, no monthly cloud fees, and all your stuff is stored on the internal hard drive. So you pretty much just run the cables, connect everything together, connect it to your Wi-Fi or connect it to your internet, and you're good to go. I don't think you can connect it to Wi-Fi, actually. I'll take that back. You do have to hardwire it into your network, but we can always get a Wi-Fi adapter, which I probably will end up doing. So pretty much you plug it in, you plug the cameras in with the cables, and this thing comes online. So let's unbox it and get to it. So once you open the lid, you're gonna find these 2 boxes immediately on top and then followed by this one down the bottom. Very nicely packaged. So I did get this shipped to my home and it wasn't an issue with the way it's packaged. So let me open up the boxes and show you what's inside. Okay, so I can only assume this is gonna be the brains of it all. Boom. So here is the NVR. So this is pretty much the brain of everything, and you can see on the back you have 8 channels, and that is what we are going to be running our cables to. So the rest of this is probably just a power supply in here, to be honest with you. Yeah, so it comes with an HDMI, a network cable, and the power supply in there. So that's that, and then I'm assuming that these are going to be our cameras in this larger box, and it also comes with actually network cable so that you can run it all as well. And there you have it. So here's the actual camera itself. As I mentioned, it has 2 really bright LEDs on the bottom, and it also has color night vision. So a lot of features with this, and then you simply just plug it in on the end right there. So anyways, let's get this thing fired up. I'll get it plugged in and I'll get a camera for you for the demonstration, and I'll do a quick review for you guys. And maybe we'll do the install video completely separate because I'm going to be running a bunch of cables to get this done. Alright, so I've set up a quick test environment for you guys. One other thing too is it does have 2-way talk, so you can see the speaker there. And it's going to have a protective film, so you're going to want to remove that. I did set up the system. I'm just going to temporarily install it here for the moment, and I'll tell you why. So it has an HDMI cable, so I'm going to hook it up to this TV here. It also comes with a mouse. We plugged in the power cable. And this install is going to be really easy, you guys. All you're going to do is, it does come with these rolls as well, so I've kind of scattered it across here. But you're just going to plug it into the back. There's different channels, numbered of course, but you just pick whatever one you want for whatever camera you're going to install. I'll just choose this one just for testing purposes. And then the other end, we're just going to go over there. And you'll know which end is what because there's actually a seal here. So if you're going to put it outdoors, I would assume it has this seal, so make sure you're conscious of that because you're going to want a sealed connection. So let's plug these 2 in, and with these 2 connected, I could probably take this off at this point, and I'll put this in a test environment. We'll point it somewhere and I'll show you guys the resolution on it. Alright, so here's the boot up screen for the LOREX. So it says welcome. I'm guessing we click on it. There's a little arrow in the corner, so we'll click on that. It's asking if it's a local setup or a network setup. We're gonna do network so that we can hook up our smartphone after this. Let's get you connected to your network. So it's asking for a connection to our internet. So I'm just gonna temporarily run a cable to our internet so that we have this. Give me 1 second. All right, so this cable here I have connected to my network, just to the router. Nothing special, you guys. If you guys have a regular router, just plug it into the back of one of the ports. They're probably labeled 1 through 4. And then you're gonna see your lights come on, which means this thing should have internet. And this thing says that you need an internet connection to get automatic updates and connect to the app. So there we go. Congrats, your firmware is up to date. And now I have to make a login, so let me do that. Okay, so I put my password in. Just know that it has to be over 8 characters, or at least 8 characters long, otherwise it won't let you go to this little next button here. We'll go to the next screen. And it is just saying, before mounting your cameras, connect them to the recorder. Click next once all cameras are plugged in. It's wanting us to do all of them, but I'm not going to. So as you can see, there is our camera there. And let me go ahead and show you guys the picture quality. I'll get a few examples so that you guys can see. And hopefully without the glare, I'll give you guys an example of the quality. Okay, so that's just the verification process to make sure they all work. So that was just kind of a preview. And now we got to set our time and date. So let me do that. All right, so I've set the time and date. Let's go to the next page. And channels selected. So you can name them all. I'll leave that for now. We'll do that later. Motion area, so you can select which areas on the camera you want to be motion. Since it's on the floor right now, we're not going to do that just yet. So, and then you can also change the schedule of when you want them to record. So if you guys are not familiar with this, when you get different systems, green means continuous recording, yellow is only records when it's on motion, and the orange is going to be smart motion. So if it detects a person or a car, then it'll start recording. But if it's just, maybe a leaf going by or maybe a mouse or something, it's not going to record it. So that's what smart motion is. So you can set it to which, hours of the day or week you want it to record on. So that's what that is. Right now, we'll leave them all for all the channels. I'm not going to mess with it just yet. Once I dial this in, we'll get to that a little bit more. So this shows the default settings. So by default, everything is set to motion and 24/7 recording. If you find that you're not getting enough, time span of recordings, like maybe it only lasts a week instead of 2 weeks or whatever the case is, then you can actually start turning it down so it only records motion on certain cameras or only 24/7 on other cameras. This is where you would, assign that and stuff like that, and on the other schedules. So that's what this is. So if you're finding you want a month of recording, then you're gonna have to probably turn down some of your cameras. Like I said, some of them motion, some of them not. You get the idea. All right, so now it says I can download the app. So we're gonna go to the next screen and we'll get the phone sorted out as well. So it's got our QR code. So we'll scan it with the phone and we'll get it hooked up. So there we go. It's downloading the app now on my iPhone, and we'll let this download and then we'll proceed. All right, so we've opened the app. It's gonna ask about notifications. We're gonna say allow. It's gonna ask camera setup. I guess we'll say okay. Microphone, yes, for two-way talk. And now we're gonna put in our email and password, but we're gonna have to sign up. So let me sign up and I'll take you to the next step. Now that I've created an account, it's gonna ask to add a device. So we'll hit the plus sign, and then we have to go to our device and scan it. So let me go to the next screen here, because this is the one to download the app. Okay, so I think we have to go into the settings to get our QR code for the phone. All right, so if you're like me and you didn't see a QR code, you're gonna right click, you're going to go to info, and then you're gonna see the QR code for your device. So I'm gonna take this, and then it's gonna find it. I'm gonna enter my password now for my device, and then it should sync. So there we go, it added it. It's asking me to put a name, so let me name this. Okay, and just like that, we have our camera live on here. So you can see our camera, and if we had more cameras hooked up right now, we would see more of them. So we can probably click on this and get an expanded view. So this is just streaming through the phone, but over here we have some high def, so let me show you. So don't mind the glare from the TV, but this is a 4K TV and this is 4K on the camera. So you can probably get an idea. Let me get some test subjects. I'll actually point this outside because it's gonna take me a while to actually run all the cameras and the wires. So I'll point this outside so you guys get a general idea for this, and then I'll do a separate video once I have the full system set up outdoors. Okay guys, so I just set this up outside just so you guys can get a quick idea of how it looks. And here is what it looks like also on the phone in HD. So this is going to be a lot better. Before, one of my biggest concerns was being able to actually identify faces or a license plate number if you needed to. And I mean, just on my phone here, if I set this down, since I've only got so many hands, I mean, you can zoom in and really not distort. I mean, this is the pickup truck across the street. So, I mean, that's probably honestly like at least 200-300 feet away. And you can zoom all the way in to that and still maintain clarity. So this is what I wanted to have. So I mean, that's as far as I can digitally zoom, but you can get a pretty good idea of what you're looking at. So if I place these at the front of the house, which is going to be around here, then I can shoot them and I'll be another 30 feet closer to any vehicle that pulls into you know, my driveway or something like that, which is what I wanted. The other cool thing too is you can set the siren. So there's actually a siren you can set off and the light. So let me show you guys that quickly. So here you go, you guys. This is just where I temporarily set it up, and you can see just how far away that truck is, and you can zoom in on it. So on the phone itself, you can see me recording. You can turn on the LED lights so you can see how bright those are, and I'll show you guys at nighttime too once the sun goes down. And if you want, you can turn on the siren, which is probably gonna be pretty annoying, but let's try it. So there's that. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's a little bit corny, but at the same time, it's kind of cool to be able to do something like that. So that's pretty much gonna do it for that. I don't wanna make this video too long, you guys. And pretty interesting, you guys, I haven't even set this thing up to, you know, any certain degree, but you can see here, it says that someone was detected by the LOREX system. So because we were just standing in front of it, it detected that we were out there. I mean, I've had this running for a few minutes now and it hasn't showed anything like that. So that's pretty neat actually, that it actually will you know, come up and give you notifications on your phone that a person was detected. So pretty cool. All right guys, so as promised, I'm going to give you some nighttime footage of this, and I've finished installing about half of the system, and I'm gonna have a completely separate video for you guys on doing an installation. But I kind of just want to give you guys a quick overview on this thing so you have a general idea. So I'll show you just how dark it is outside. And you can get an idea of what's what. So I have a camera here, it's probably gonna shine in our face right there. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, you have the motion activated spotlights on it. So I have one there, I have one here, and as I walk in front of it, it should come on in just a second. Boom, so there it is. Another motion activated. You can see just how dark it is out here just with this GoPro that I'm filming with. And then I have one more here, which you can see there, and I have one here, but it's really dark. You can't see anything here, but there is one there as well. So not much to see there when that's off, but I'm going to show you guys what this looks like from inside, since you have a general idea of how dark it is and what kind of picture quality we can get. So I ended up putting the NVR somewhere inconspicuous, and I actually hid it honestly, so that in the event if there was ever anything serious, someone couldn't just take the box with the recordings and, you know, take off with it, and then I'm left with no recordings. So I have pretty much buried this thing. You're not gonna find it. All right guys, so you saw how dark it was outside. This is the picture quality at nighttime. It's full color, and you can see just how bright it is. You can see the full street and everything. You guys saw how dark it was. And then if I switch to some of the other views that I have, so here's this view, you guys. Again, you can see it's full color, and it really does bring a lot of light into the picture compared to how dark it was outside. If I go over to the side, honestly right now, without that light illuminating, it's really pretty dark on that side. There is no light on that side, so you can still make out what's there, but I might have to adjust this at some point. I'll look into it for you guys, and I'll do some more subsequent reviews on this, but this is just my initial findings with this. Let me find... Okay, and here is the front door, you guys. So this area is lit it's honestly not lit that well. It's only got one light there, but you can see the whole front of the house and everything that I need to see. You can see the windows, the front door. So I did it this way. That way you can see maybe any intrusion this way versus, just facing out and not being able to see the house and, different, glass windows and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. And I will give you guys more of an update once I continue to use this. All right, guys, so that's my initial impression. So far, I think it's good. I've got 4 of the cameras up out of the 8. I got to finish the install and also keep playing with it. This is the first day that I've installed it, so really I can't give you a true, honest opinion, but so far, so good. One thing that I will, mention is the sensitivity on it, and the notifications are very sensitive off the hop. I ended up turning the notifications off from the app that pushed to your phone because it was going off a lot. So I turned off the notifications, but when I go back in and review the footage where it shows motion, there was in fact motion. So it's doing a good job of picking up true motion and recording it on the timeline. So it has like a timeline where you can drag it across, and if you have continuous recording like it currently is set up from default, it records 24/7. It'll actually show you the chunks of orange where it's picking up some sort of motion, and it would pick up a car coming from down the street. It would pick up all sorts of stuff. So you can adjust that sensitivity, so I'm gonna have to play with that. But like I said, so far so good. I do like all the additional features. The fact you can turn on a siren, it's got two-way talk, it records the audio, does a lot of cool things. And I think honestly, I was having a discussion as well, that I think the fact that you can have those lights illuminate at nighttime when somebody's approaching or it sees motion, I think that deterrence in itself might make these cameras worth it, that you might not necessarily have to use them, because if somebody walks up and you just have a camera that's just sitting there idle and it records whatever's going on but doesn't try to do anything, this one shines bright in the person's face and lets them know that there's a camera there and they're pretty much being recorded. So I think the cameras in themselves maybe would deter people, and just the fact that I've got so many of them up now, people might not mess with this place. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So far the quality is way better, and I'll do some subsequent videos. Like I said, I'll put some maybe of my own cars out there on the street, see if we can zoom in on the license plates, because that was one of my biggest pet peeves with the ring system. So I think this video is long enough for now, guys. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you're notified of all the latest videos, and we'll see you on the next video.